Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another exciting celebration service here at First Unity Spiritual Campus. It's the time of year where we're celebrating love, joy, peace, faith, and just one another, spreading one another, love to one another. So join with us in celebrating the season.
Lanterns lighting up the town, peace on earth is all around. Everything is calm on Christmas Eve. There's goodwill in the air tonight. Angels sing by candlelight, their voices carried on the wind. When carol singers gather round, when I hear that festive sound, I want to join with them and sing. They sing a merry song, and we all sing along, a festive melody that tells us Christmas time is here. See the stars tonight, they're shining bright, 'cause it's Christmas time, and it's my favorite time of year.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Give me mistletoe. It's a season to be jolly. Wrapping presents, writing cards, helping decorate the tree. There's one thing that makes it all for me. When carol makers sing the ground, angel voices fill the town. It's like the world is joining in. They sing a merry song, and we all sing along, a festive melody that tells us Christmas time is here. See the stars tonight, they're shining bright, 'cause it's Christmas time, and it's my favorite time of year. Christmas Eve, still believe, so excited, can't sleep. When the morning comes, church bells ring, and we sing a merry song, and we all sing along, a festive melody that tells us Christmas time is here. See the stars tonight, they're shining bright, 'cause it's Christmas time, and it's my favorite time of year. It's my favorite time of year. Noel, Noel.
Yeah, Christmas time is my favorite time of year. Look around if you would and just send a smile to somebody, maybe just air five, let them know that you're glad to see them in the house. Happy holidays to everybody. Can I hear a happy holidays? It's the holiday season. I'm singing all the songs these days. I just can't help it. We want to welcome you to First Unity Spiritual Campus, where you are not tolerated, you are celebrated. And I am John Scott, and I am honored to be the spiritual leader here at First Unity Spiritual Campus. We want you to know that you have come into a place that's a trans-religious, trans-denominational spiritual community that's investing our time in the consciousness of the planet and raising it, expanding it, and watching the divinity just flood the whole earth. Can I get a witness, somebody? If you happen to have your cellular device today and don't mind silencing it, that would be wonderful. If you're a first-time guest with us and you feel comfortable doing so, just lift your hand up. We'd love to bring to you a card it's a get acquainted card. Thank you for being here. Let's give a round of applause to everyone who has decided to join us today. who are guests with us. That get acquainted card, if you will trade it in with someone at the welcome desk right just before you go exit out the double doors, if you will trade that in, they have a gift for you. Those who are joining online, there's a gift for you as well if you're joining us for the very first time. In fact, I'm going to encourage all of our family who are joining in live stream through YouTube and through Facebook and our website, if you don't mind, share this link with a friend. If you're on Facebook, share it to your page. Spread this love and this cheer all around. But if you're joining for the first time, we want you to know we have a gift for you as well. Just inbox us so that we can know you're with us for the first time. I want to let you know that there's a lot of things going on the campus, and every single Sunday we offer a contemplation and more of a meditative, kind of a traditional unity service out under our purple tent or in the chapel. Depends on the weather. That's at 9 a.m. on Sundays. At 11 a.m. we have our chapel meditation. It's a good opportunity for you to come and just sit in the quiet and allow the calmness to come through into the mind and sometimes exit the mind. I had somebody tell me one time, said, "You're out of your mind." And I said, "Yes, at least once a day. I do everything I can sometimes to quiet that mind." Reminder that our 11:30 celebration service, which is what you're attending at this current moment, is moving to 11 o'clock first of the year. Somebody say 11 a.m.? Oh, well. That sounds like a yes vote on that one. But it's going to be moving, but currently it's at 11:30, and we're so glad that you are here. Take just a moment, if you would, receive a deep breath and give it back. What a beautiful space we all have the opportunity to create today. We come into love and loving awareness. We allow the joy that's unspeakable and full of glory to expand within us, through us, and as us. As the wonderful Lisa Nadeau comes and shares with us one of my favorite Christmas songs, Grown Up Christmas List.
Do you remember me? I sat upon your knee. I wrote to you with childhood fantasies. Well, I'm all grown up now. Can you still help somehow? I'm not a child, but my heart still can dream. So here's my lifelong wish, my grown-up Christmas list, not for myself, but for a world in need. No more lives torn apart, that wars would never start, and time would heal us. Everyone would have a friend, that right would always win, and love would never end. This is my grown-up Christmas list. What is this illusion called? The innocence of youth. Maybe only in that blind belief can we ever find the truth. No more lives torn apart, that wars would never start, and time would heal us. Everyone would have a friend, that right would always win, and love would never end. Ooh,
This is my grown-up Christmas. This is my only lifelong wish. This is my grown-up Christmas list.
I'm not crying, my eyes are sweating. How do you follow Lisa Nadeau and Santa Claus? That's unfair, to say the least. Wanda Nero Butler. Kids, did you see Santa? Woo. Hey, look, doesn't that make you excited about Christmas? It does me. It still does me. I'm 45 years old. I'm still a big old kid. Somebody told me a little bit ago, said, you're wearing glasses today. In fact, it was Doc Dawn. She said, you look like a little boy. And I said, I feel like a little boy today. It's Christmas time. My eyes don't feel like a little boy, but I do. Speaking of our children, we have our YES program that is in full swing. It's Youth Expressing Spirit. And we have any children in the house? I see we had some children. You got some children in the house? It's, all right, all right. We want to let you know that our YES program is available for you. And right now we're getting ready to release our children into that class. And I'm going to ask that our adults, if you would, just lift your hands up, allow your hearts to open, and let's give a blessing to our children. We see you for the magnificent beings you are. We love you. We support you. And we celebrate you. May your imagination and creative abilities never stop. May they continue to expand. We love you. We bless you. We call you safe. And so it is. So we release our children now to the YES program, if you would go. And our instructors will be out in the lobby area to help if you want to sign your children up if you haven't done so already. This is the Advent season. Let me say this. So no one is wigging out about Advent. Let me say, I know that in a community where we don't necessarily consider ourselves to be a Christian church. In fact, I don't consider ourselves to be a church. I consider us to be a spiritual community. Yeah? Anybody? Nothing wrong with church. We've done it, been there, done that, got the t-shirt to remind me. But we're a spiritual community. When Advent was presented, I thought, it was an initial thought for me. Well, we're not a Christian church per se. We're a spiritual community. We celebrate all. And I thought at first I had a little bit of a twinge. Anybody else get those sometimes with religious expressions? Yeah? Do you? It's okay. It's okay to say so. I do every once in a while. But when I looked at the words associated with Advent, I went, oh my God, we celebrate all of that. Peace and joy and faith and hope. And so that's why I had to add a little venture to the Advent. It's adventure. So we are adding to our venture through just refocusing ourselves toward the beauty that can come through this season. Welcoming in and birthing fresh the Christ's presence within us. More important than the Jesus of history ever was, is the Christ of mystery that dwells within us all. And that's really all Jesus came to do, was to expand that and to help us see that. And we are all way showers. In fact, look at somebody right next to you and say, did you know you are showing the way? How are you showing these days? So, how many remember we started with hope? And we said hope is not an emotion, it's not a feeling. It's something that we do, it's something that we activate. And then we went to peace, right? The peace that we understand is that inner dwelling, knowing that you're connected to the one, right? So we looked at peace, and this week we're going to take a look. Now, look, there was a little bit of a conundrum. Somebody say conundrum. Because one tradition of the Advent said that this is the week of faith. Another tradition said this is the week of joy. I said, I'll take both. So we have one candle, and we're looking at faith and joy today, okay? Because in fact, I've come to realize when I have faith, joy is automatic. It shows up. And so we light the candle for joy and faith this week. This song here is written by some music buddies of mine. In 1998, I was asked to join the group New Song, the contemporary Christian group New Song. Tried out for them, and Billy Goodwin, one of the singers from the band New Song, was somebody I almost idolized. He was what singers will understand this. He was a 5-octave singer, which meant he could go in the basement, he could go to the second floor, and would build extra floors with his voice. It was just a magnificent singer, somebody I really idolized a lot. And then I had a group of people in that same year ask me to become their pastor. They didn't know what they were into. Neither did I. But I never will forget the call that I made to Eddie Carswell, who he and Billy actually started the band New Song. And I said, man, look, I just feel like I'm supposed to pastor this group of 6 people in a back alley church in Milledgeville, Georgia. And their response was, okay, you could do that. And then 3 years later, they put this song out, Christmas Shoes. And I was like, I don't know if I made the right choice, Jesus. No, I'm kidding. But this song is still one of my favorite songs this time of year, and it's based on a true story. This actually happened. It was almost Christmas time. There I stood in another line, trying to buy that last gift or two. Not really in the Christmas mood. Standing right in front of me was a little boy waiting anxiously, pacing around like little kids do. But in his hands he held a pair of shoes. And his clothes were worn and old. He was dirty from head to toe. And when it came his time to pay, I couldn't believe what I heard him say. He said, I want to buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size. Could you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, but I know these shoes will make her smile. And I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets the angels tonight. They counted pennies for what seemed like years. Then the cashier said, son, there's not enough here. He searched his pockets frantically, and then he turned and he looked at me. He said, sir, Mama made Christmas good in our house, though most years she just did without. Tell me, sir, what am I gonna do? Somehow I've gotta buy my mama this pair of shoes. So I laid the money down. I just had to help him out. And no, I'll never forget that look on his face when he said, thank you, Mama's gonna look so great. Sir, I wanna buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size. Could you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not. If Mama meets Jesus tonight, I knew I'd caught a glimpse of heaven's love as he thanked me and ran out. I knew that this all about?
Sir, I wanna buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size.
Whoa, could you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and I know these shoes will make her smile. I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets Jesus tonight. I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets the angels tonight.
Now we move into the sacred part of our service, where we center ourselves, quiet our mind, connect in spirit. A sacred moment of meditation, contemplation, and connection. Facilitating this today is going to be our prayer chaplain, Barb Berger, and our hymn for today is It Is Well. When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrow like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. Again, it is well. It is well, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. Of our God mind, and picture a flower of the bird of paradise
right behind your eyes. That beautiful, magnificent, orange bird of paradise, reaching its petals towards the sun. These bird of paradise flowers were named after the actual bird of paradise in all its glory, symbolizing happiness, freedom, and the ability to soar when they spread their wings, their brilliant, colorful feathers. So the symbolism of this bird of paradise flower, happiness, freedom, and the ability to fly high. Let's metaphysically set this in right here with our eyes closed. Take your hands, place your forefinger onto your thumb, then take your middle finger, place it on top of that finger, your ring finger on top of that middle finger, and finally, the little pinky finger on top of that finger. Right here, you are holding the bud of the bird of paradise flower right in your hand. Now, all this potentiality, all this adventure, all this happiness, let it open. Open that pinky out. Open that ring finger out. Open that middle finger out. But hold the forefinger and the thumb. Feel that energy. This is our prayer for happiness, for freedom, and the ability to soar to new heights. Now open that finger and thumb. Reach it high into the air. You are a magnificent bird of paradise. Feel it. And gently bring it down. Bring your hands down. Gently open your eyes. And so it is.
Everybody sing. When peace like a river attendeth my way. When sorrow like sea billows roll. Sorrows like sea billows roll. Whatever my lot. Thou hast taught me to say. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well. It is well with my soul. Everyone. It is well. It is well with my soul. And we lift that up into the atmosphere and say hallelujah. 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 And so it is.
Stay with me, Eric, just a second. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. And one more time, make that affirmation. It is well. It is well. repeat this after me. All is well
All is well
with my soul.
with my soul.
All is well.
All is well.
Life is good.
Life is good.
And I am truly blessed.
And I am truly blessed.
All is well.
All is well.
Life is good.
Life is good.
And I am truly blessed.
And I am truly blessed.
And if you believe that, go ahead and put that in the atmosphere with a hand clap. Yeah. Yeah. I am going to grab a stool here because, did y'all hear the jingle bells? I'm not going to play Santa. I'm going to grab a stool here today because I just want to chat with you today. Is that all right? Is it fine? Because we're just going to chat. We are in the Advent season. We've been talking about Advent and adding to the venture of your life instead of taking away from the journey. So often we don't even realize that we're taking things away from our journey by limited thinking, allowing ourselves to think within just such a narrow gaze. You know, when I was growing up, I grew up with people who were so narrow-minded they could look through a keyhole with both eyes. And still have room. It was really built around a lot of exclusion, not a whole lot of inclusion. Because when you include, now you have to expand, and expanding can sometimes feel very daunting. It can feel uncomfortable. As we expand in consciousness, we're not necessarily comfortable through the process. In fact, discomfort often allows us to know we're growing. I don't know about you, but when I was a teenager, I had terrible growing pains. When I was first coming into my adolescence, and really around 11 or 12 years old is when it hit the worst. And I remember my mother would sit in there with me as I went to sleep at night, and she would rub liniment on my legs. Anybody ever had liniment rubbed on you? That stuff, I still smell it to this day. But it made me feel better. And so she would rub liniment on my legs and on my joints because I was in so much pain. And I'm not sure why that transpired with me, but it just did. And my mother was just so sweet, and she was nursing even before she became a nurse. You know, she was just a wonderful, wonderful part of that loving compassion. As we grow, we expand, we can experience a lot of discomfort. And this journey is not all about our comfort. I used to say it this way: God is more concerned about your character and your expansion than God is concerned about your comfort. Isn't that the truth? For anybody that's had to drop off old belief systems and try to expand yourself into a new way of thinking, wow! Because the brain, it gets set. That's why it's called a mindset. Mindset speaks to me of concrete. You watch concrete set, and then it becomes hard, and then eventually it will crack. And blessed are the flexible, for they are not easily broken. So the more fluid you remain in your spiritual journey, the more you find a little more comfort in it, because you realize that you can shoot water, but it can't be wounded. You can stab it, but it won't bleed. It's such a wonderful, soft element, and yet it's the most irresistible, and everything on the planet needs it. And we can become more like that. But as we've added to our venture, we've been talking about hope and how we can activate hope. We actively can be engaged in what it means to be hopeful, filled with hope, and bringing more hope into the world. We talked about peace. And this last week, I actually took the word peace. I don't know how many have access to my walk and talks, but this kind of happened by mistake or on purpose by mistake. I thought it was a mistake. I was walking my 9-year-old to the bus stop, and on the way back from the bus stop, I got this thought, and I decided to switch my camera on and just record this thought so I wouldn't lose the thought. Really, that's what I was thinking, but it ended up being about 60 seconds, which apparently is TikTokable. It's kind of like tweeting, you know. I was like, what is twitting? And that's not what it was, because it's Twitter. I thought it was twitting. It's not twitting twit. It's a tweet. So I've had to learn all of this stuff. And Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts, which I was introduced to by when my son said, you should do YouTube Shorts. I thought there was some kind of new wardrobe out there that I needed. I didn't know what he was talking about. I just didn't, you know. So he helped me to understand. No, it's about 60 seconds. Okay, so I see a thing here. It's a sort of a wisdom minute. I see a theme here. You're trying to tell me to not be so long-winded. I get it. Anyway, so I recorded it, but now I do these walk and talks. And this last week, it hit me that the word peace could really, you could really pull something out of each letter. So P for me was power. E for me was evolution. A for me was arrange, and this one's still sticking with me. You can't necessarily decide which thoughts come, but you can decide how you arrange them and what kind of an arrangement you'll make with them. And then C for me was create, because we're creating our own path. And then E, of course, how many know what E? It's not just evolution, but it's elimination. Sometimes you need to let go. It doesn't matter how I don't want to get gross with everybody, but it doesn't matter how nutritious your food is today, your body's still going to need to remove something. And if it doesn't, you'll become toxic. So clean it up, Johnny. My point is that there are some times in this life we need to release and let go. We're headed toward what we typically, a tradition within the Unity tradition, and even Centers for Spiritual Living, sort of the burning bowl season. We're asking ourselves, what can we release and let go of? It's not just what we gather to ourselves that brings abundance, but sometimes what we let go of that brings abundance, because sometimes it's something that's standing in the way of the flow that we just simply need to remove, right? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Sometimes those are relationships. Right. So this adding to your venture may vibrate some people out of your life, and that is okay. It doesn't mean they're wrong and you're right, by the way. Just because you're not getting along with them doesn't mean they're wrong and you're right. Can I get an amen from somebody? See, just because you don't vibe with their vibe doesn't mean you're separate from them. In fact, let me say this about separation. I know that every vibration that is in the galaxy is a part of me. I know it. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of my oneness with everyone. Very aware. I'm also aware that Pluto and Jupiter are far apart from each other. So you can be in the same galaxy and maybe not be in the same universe or university. You might be learning something different at this stage in your life that doesn't work for the people you might be walking on the path with, and it may be time to move in another direction. Sometimes we vibrate people out of our lives and attract others into our life. So let's talk about faith. For a lot of people, faith is about how you practice your religious expression. Like, people will come up to some people and they'll say, and they've said it to me, especially over the last few years, okay, what faith are you? Right? Because they're trying to narrow it down. You know, are you a Christian? Are you a Buddhist? People think because I lead meditations Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays online that I'm a Buddhist. Somebody else thought I was a Hindu. And I said, no, I appreciate all of those faiths deeply, but I don't consider that to be my particular faith group. In fact, I'm kind of in the same grouping with Krishnajita Murti when he said, when you label me, you negate me. So I'm uninterested in the labels. I'm not anti anything, but I'm also not going to just limit myself to one particular faith group. So that's what some people think faith is. Other people think that faith is how much you believe, or how you believe. And all of that is possible meanings of faith. I want to dig a little deeper today, if that's okay with you, because I believe that faith does release joy into our life, especially when we see faith a little more deeply than just those aesthetic things, those things we've experienced within the system of our current world, that there is a world that's attempting to be birthed from the inside out. And the way I want to talk about faith for just a few minutes is that attempt to really connect with the oneness that we are, and to see that maybe faith is not the group you're a part of or how much you can believe for something, but maybe faith is an energetic principle that just happens to dwell within you. There's an ancient writing that says, to every person born is dealt or given a measure of faith. Somebody say, measure of faith. It reminds me, Jesus the Master was teaching one day, and he said, if you have the faith of a grain of a mustard seed, you can say to the mountain, be removed and cast into the sea, and it shall be. Now, when he's talking about a mountain, people automatically start associating Everest and other mountains that we've associated with. But I don't think Jesus is talking about physical mountains moving as much as he's talking about the mountains of our own limitations, the mountains of our own disbelief in our own selves. In fact, today I'm not going to talk about having faith in God. I'm going to talk to you about having faith. And when I say God, watch what I did there. The sign language is everything. God is not out here. That God has never existed. Are we scared now? I wanted to affirm and confirm that you are listening to a heretic. Anyway, no, but that God is not out there somewhere or in some particular religious expression. The presence of God has always been and will always be encompassed with or camping inside of and a part of the ingredients of who we are. Before you embodied this spacesuit, you were in the very presence of all that's eternal and all that's great and powerful. And the manifestation of that is still within you. You still have the power within you to create from that space, never having to go anywhere. You are the somewhere. You are that presence. Peace on earth, and then goodwill toward all. If we're dealt a measure of faith, I kind of thought about it this way, Raven. It was, to me, this is the way it came. We're all dealt a measure of muscle mass. What you do with it determines how strong it is. The use of it causes it to grow. Is there anybody in here that understands that if you work the muscles out, what do? You create space for more strength. The more you use them, and all of my yoga friends in here, the more you stretch them, the more flexible you are, right? Some of us need some mental yoga. Up dog and down dog and around dogs. We need some emotional, and because it would make us more agile and be able to deal with the flexibility of a world that's ever changing. Side note. This is for all my cosmic friends who play on the astral plane. Side note. The human, I'm going over here for this. Not for this group, just away from the stool. The human being is in upgrade right now. So if you feel strange, it's because the Spirit is inviting the mind to shift to upgrade, which is going to directly affect the bodies of humanity, because you are not your body. You happen to live in the body, but you're inviting your body into upgrade. In the next 10 years, as we go through this, that sounds like I'm prophesying now. Dial 1-800, I'll pray. No, in the next 10 years, watch us evolve past cancer. Because the Spirit is asking the mind to upgrade, which is going to cause the body to follow suit. We're actually coming into what Charles and Myrtle Fillmore called the superhuman expression. That was a side note. I'm not charging you anything for that. So if we don't activate our faith, though, if we don't activate this energy within us, we're not making use of it, we can't expand it, and we can't expect it to be strong. When you work out, you're working it out, you're creating more avenues for strength. Okay? Faith is not something we get through deposit from any particular spiritual teacher or church or any guru. Faith is already in you. It's kind of like this. It reminded me of this story in the South. Reverend Richard, you'll appreciate this. And anybody else from Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee. Yeah, some of Florida. Right, some of Florida. Florida. Yeah, I like that. There was a lady that was having breakfast with some friends. It was in Covington, Georgia. She got her, Covington. Ever been there? Covington, Georgia. She ordered a breakfast meal, and it came out to her, and there was this white stuff sitting on the plate. She looked at it, and she looked at her friends, and she looked at it, and she looked at her friends. She tasted it. She said, "Oh." She said, "What is this?" They said, "Well, it's grits." She said, "What's grits?" "Well, that's what you're eating right there." The server came over, and she said, "Why'd you give me grits?" She said, "They don't taste that great, and I didn't order them." And she said, "Oh, baby, you're in the South. In the South, you don't have to ask for grits. It's kind of like faith. You just get some." So faith is not something we ask for necessarily, but it's something that you have a measure of within you already. Now faith is your substance of the things you've been hoping for, what you place on the screen of your imagination in the theater of your mind, and you associate your energy of creation with the things that you hope for. Faith gives you the ability to generate the energy to create access to shaping material things in a material world. It's the proof or the manifestation of the matter. It's the manifestation of the things you've hoped for. It's the evidence of the things that you've yet to see in physical form. And this was written in a letter to the Hebrew nation. To have faith is to trust yourself to the water. When you swim, you don't grab hold of the water, because if you do, you will sink and drown. Instead, you relax into the water and you float. So says Alan Watts, one of the most rascally philosophers of all time. You rest into the water. And so these are three words I would invite us into as we meditate on faith this week. Expect. Expect. Believe every single day that miracles are happening in your life. Believe every single day, because I believe that expectation is the breeding ground for a miracle. You've heard hope for the best and prepare for the worst. How many have heard that one? Nah, not my motto. Hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Anytime I've ever prepared, I've given space to it. I said something right there you need to take with you and advance your spiritual journey. Every time I've made preparations, I'm giving space to it. I don't hope for the best and prepare for the worst. I hope for the best and I prepare for the best. And if the worst happens, consciousness always has an answer for any question, because a problem and a solution are the same coin with different sides. You can't have a problem without there being a solution already. You can't have a solution without there being a problem already. They work hand in hand. Neither one of them are trying to mess with you, but you can't spend a coin with just one side of it. Expectation is the breeding ground for a miracle. Reverend Serena, I'm expecting miracles every single day. I don't wake up looking for the worst to happen. I don't wake up, oh my God, I just hope I can make it through today. Oh, man. Living in a constant state of fear, hoping that the bad doesn't show up in my life. Oh, let me say this to you. Also, you don't have to go looking for offense. It will find you. It will get right up in you don't have to look for offense. If you're constantly offended, it's probably because you've put a fence around your heart that turned into a wall. And you're constantly inviting offenders into your general proximity. Expect a miracle and expect the best. I'm not saying, because I hear people right now say, now, John, be realistic. John, be realistic. I ask you, what is your definition of realism? If your definition of realism is based on the systems of our world and the conditioning that we've experienced up to this point, then I can tell you, my friend, it's not real. That's an illusion that somebody else built to keep you bound in your limited thinking. I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody. I'm telling you, I'm one of those weird ones who absolutely believes that I can mold and shape my material world through the power of my faith. Okay, so expectation and engage with yourself when it comes to faith. Invite yourself regularly to imagine the life you want. It's in the feeling. And then allow yourself to feel the feeling of a wish fulfilled. Make the impression on the biological cellular structure of your being. Write the story on your cells that you want to produce in your life. The moment you sit with a new thought is the moment you begin to expand the thinking process. The moment you allow yourself to think beyond what the eyes can see and engage the insight into the world that is endless, filled with potential and possibility. The moment that you begin to do that, you begin to nurse a relationship and an intimate engagement with all that's possible, instead of being limited by what everyone else says is probable. Do you want to be in the probability? Do you want to be in the possibility? Or do you want to be in the impossibility? Which, by the way, impossible is a hijacked word, because even in the word it says, I'm possible. I think it was Helen Keller said that. Can you imagine being deaf blind, unable to speak, all three, and still being able to tell the world, I'm possible. Come on, what's your issue? I mean, what's your issue? Woo! So make it a habit. Make faith a habit. What you practice becomes a habit, and what becomes a habit builds your habitat. What are you practicing every single day? Are you practicing that engagement with worry and doubt and confusion, and I hope it doesn't happen to me? Or are you engaging accessing that power within you that is faith? Because see, what you begin to expect and what you begin to engage directly affects, number 3, your experience. Because if you don't change the way you're thinking, you're not going to experience anything different. If you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, you are flirting with and possibly in bed with insanity. If nothing changes, Dr. Wayne Dyer said, change the way you see the world, and the world you see will. Why? Because you will shift it. You will change it. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, be the change you want to see. If you've set your mind in a particular direction and you're expecting and engage in that direction, you're going to experience what you engaged and what you expected. Whew. I'm telling you, these are the keys to your wealth. That's not your bank account. When I'm talking about wealth, I'm talking about the richness of your life. The keys to it is to expect the best, expect abundance to flow, and engage the gears toward that abundance so that your experience will be a direct result of what you've engaged in your life. If you drive toward a wall, you will hit it. And if you drive your life toward abundance, you will get into it. The material world is asking for the children of God to be revealed and birthed into this planet, to shift everything about what this planet. Look, there's enough people doing it now that it's already happening. You may as well get on board. You can either get on the train or get run over by it, because it's leaving the station, baby. We refuse to live beneath our privilege. I'm telling you, I refuse to live in the limitation of the world that we have built up to this point. I refuse to. I am choosing to build a new world. I am choosing to build a new world. I am choosing to build a new world and to point other people in the same direction. Faith may be the ability to feel the light even when you're in the darkness. Faith is my ability to feel the light. I may not see the light yet, but it is my ability to feel the light, even in the midst of darkness. Dr. King said, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the rest of the staircase. Martin Luther King Jr. also said, faith is the ability to keep moving forward even in the face of physical threat. Maya Angelou talked about faith being her ability to find out that she belonged, even in a system that had the mindset that wanted to push her out. And they attempted multiple times to do so. Faith was the ability that gave Nelson Mandela, even in prison, the ability to survive until he could thrive. It gave him the ability to understand that he could tap into that power that dwells within him. Listen, if you don't tap it, you'll trap it. See, you got to tap into the keg before you can drink you got to tap in it'll be trapped until you tap it. It's in there waiting for you to expand it, but you got to tap in. Take that step to engage it and to tap into that faith. Throughout time, we've seen people who tapped into that power of their faith against all the odds, and they began to create a way where there seemed to be no way. You know the songs we used to sing? God will make a way where there seems to be no way. We sang it and it was kumbaya moment. Folks raising their hands and the goosebumps coming up. Oh yes, God will make a way. God will make a way. Who do you think the song was talking about? You. Not Big Papa. You. So sing it that way. God will make a way where there seems to be no way. God works in ways that aren't always seen. God will make a way for me. Who is that? You. Say this. I am the way maker. Now, what you just said, now I'm telling you, it's powerful. It's not blasphemous. Religion doesn't want you to say it because they can't keep you trapped in writing big checks. See, they want to keep you trapped, and they know if you get tapped into it, you won't be trapped anymore. But I came to free you. I didn't come to keep you bound. I came to call you into the freedom of your powerful beings. Charles Fillmore talked about it this way. Faith is the powerful energy of the Christ mind to shape substance. Whew. I like that. You know what I see when that's in my mind? You ever played with Play-Doh? Yeah. That's what I see in my mind when I think about that statement. Faith is the energy of the Christ mind to shape substance, to decide what the substance will look like. Faith is my ability to do that. And then I wrote this, to bring manifestation here in the physical, what we have dreamed of in the unmanifest. Faith is the ability to bring into the physical, manifest into the physical what we've dreamed in the unmanifest or in the unseen. It's that ability that we have to make the world of no things come into the world of things. I personally think that faith is a deep knowing that you are connected to the one, connected to the divine order, that the Tao resonates within you, that you can fully trust in the faith that is deep within you, that knowing of the power of God that's within you that causes you to be free. Feel it, know it, act on it, because it already is. There's nothing to get. You got it. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, you got it. You already got it. So expect, engage, and experience from the power of faith that you've been dealt a measure of already. It already is you. It already is you. Take just a moment if you would. I invite you to sit up straight. I said we were going to talk about joy. We're not going to talk about joy. Faith is bringing joy already. In this few moments, in the quiet though, here's where the joy is going to come. As you allow yourself right now to go into the theater of your mind, look on the screen of your imagination, see the life you've been wanting to live. If you can imagine it, it already exists in consciousness, or you wouldn't even be able to get the information required to imagine it. Now, look at that life and begin to say within yourself, make it a mantra, I expect and I engage toward this experience. I expect and I engage toward this experience. Now ask yourself for a moment. Allow yourself to see something maybe of the material realm. Maybe it's something you're trying to manifest in business, in relationship. Maybe it's monetary. Maybe it's physical healing. Allow yourself to see that on the screen. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it look like? What does it smell like? Allow your senses now to connect with that image. Feel it. Hear it. See it. Taste it. Smell it. This is how we make sense of life. Now feel the joy as if it already is now happening for you. Yes, feel the joy as if it already is here in this material world now. Receive a deep breath. And exhale. And again. I'm going to invite you this week to bring the same vision. If it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, bring this powerful vision and this experience into your life. And leave each meditation on this as if it already is, as you want it to be. Because the magic is the feeling of a wish fulfilled. As we've said in the church many times, praise God as if it's already done. You've heard it said, and I say unto you, act with gratitude as if it already is done. Receive another deep breath. And exhale. Repeat this after me. I expect, I engage, and I experience. Through faith, that power that dwells within me. And so it is. And so it is. All right, all right, all right. And Stevie's like, what did you need all these notes for? Thank you so much for being here. What a beautiful crowd. Look around you if you would and just send some love to someone in here, a smile, a wink. Just spread that love around. It is a beautiful time of year. It's a time that we're reminded to move back toward this deep thing that really all of humanity wants. You know what? We all want love, right? We all want peace. Am I right about it? All of us love joy, don't we? If you like it and if you love it and you want some more of it, then spread it. Spread it. Spread it like COVID, man. I mean, infect. Then there wouldn't be any pandemic or pandemonium. Spread it around instead of the flu. Anyway. We have a few announcements for things going on in the community. If I can have your attention for just a few more moments. Our Angel Tree donations are due today. If you don't mind seeing Leah or Ronnie with your gifts that you brought to help and bless our children from the Angel Tree gift program out in the lobby. They'll be out at the box office area. Please drop off your donation of socks for the homeless. And the receptacle box is also in the lobby, and that's near the box office as well. Our artist of the month is Jillian Endres. And actually, Jillian is amplifying and edifying her husband's beautiful art that he brought to us. All of that is displayed in the hallway and also in Lagatuda Hall. And you can see Jillian after the service if you want to purchase one of those. It's a great time of year to get this artwork and share it as a gift during Christmas. And thank you for providing that with us. It's such an inspiration. December the 15th, we have our heart-opening yoga and cacao program that's going to be going on 6 to 8 p.m. under the purple tent. The purple, and that is on December the 15th. December the 18th, Living Green Marketplace will be open that's going to be in Lagatuda, yeah? From 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. on that date. Sunday service, 12:18 next week, is ugly Christmas sweater or favorite holiday wear service. So come festive. If you don't have an ugly sweater, go to Goodwill. They got a bunch of them. A bunch of them. or make one up. Be creative. Anyway, dress festive next week. How many are getting ready for December the 21st, All Holy Night? Yes, yes. This is a wonderful opportunity. All, it's not Oh Holy Night, it's all. Somebody say all. All. We're celebrating all of the holidays, winter solstice, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas. We're celebrating all of it. And that's going to be going on the 21st in this auditorium at 7 p.m. It is formal. I was told that if you want to dress formally, you can. Dress up. I might even wear a tie that night. I might. I'm serious. I'm going to pull the glasses out next. I'm going to have a tie. Next thing, Joel Osteen. No, I'm just kidding. Joking. December. I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I love Joel. Yes. Yeah, okay. All right, moving along. December the 21st, there won't be a meditation because we're going to be meditating through All Holy Night right here in the sanctuary. On Christmas Day and New Year's Day, mark your calendars and your time frame. 11 a.m. will be the service. Not 11:30, but 11 a.m. That's both for Christmas and New Year's. And so we're starting into our new service time. Somebody say 11 a.m. On Sunday mornings. I appreciate that. Somebody went there. And that's what's going to start. But now Christmas and New Year's Day, though, we won't have our Yes program. We're going to have all of the families in here together, okay? So the children will be in here in the service with us. There is a wonderful workshop that's about to be done by Reverend Christie, and that's going to be Radical Self-Tenderness Workshop. Starting the new year right. And that's going to be 4 Mondays in the evenings, 4 Mondays in January from 7 until 8:30 p.m. beginning January the 9th. What a way to start your year. Radical self-tenderness. That's a beautiful way to start 2023. And if you want to sign up for that, just go out to the box office. They have that information. Plus, there will be a deep dive workshop connected with that on Saturday, February the 4th from 11 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. You can register free through Eventbrite. And on our calendar, firstunity.org. In fact, if you hear these announcements and not sure what's happening, go to firstunity.org. Also, we give our handouts. I think we give out handouts today too, and that has the information. And typically at the first of the month, for sure, we put a calendar in there that lets you know what's happening. It's time for our offering. I'm going to ask you if you would to stand for just a moment. Maybe stretch your legs. If you don't mind, the ushers are coming now. This is a time where we have to invest in our spiritual food. You know, anytime I go to a restaurant, I typically, not only do I pay, but I also leave a tip. And one of the things that we're providing here is good food. And all we're saying is that we appreciate you if you honor this space with your financial giving, with also your time and your talent. So time, talent, and treasure is what we give here in this community. Thank you for being willing to support this community and keep this community vibrant. You can give through dialing or texting 727-800-3493. 727-800-3493. Also, there's a QR code for folks who use the QR codes. I use them for all kinds of stuff now. Those are on the plates. The QR codes are also online. If you want to, you can also go to our webpage, and from the webpage, you can tap on the yellow heart. And if you tap on the yellow heart, it'll send you how to get to the to all of the access for digital giving. Now we're going to do our abundance prayer, and if you have your bulletin or you have the handout, it should be on there somewhere. You can find it, and if not, you can look at the screen at the back. The screen at the back helps us with the abundance prayer, and it goes like this, everyone together. The abundance of God is my infinite source. I now open my mind and my heart to give and receive all God's good, all God's prosperity, all God's abundance. As God is my source, all things are possible, and so it is. And I'm going to ask the wonderful Jessica Tomlinson to come and share with us All Is Well. Jessica, come on.
And now I'd like to sing a Christmas lullaby, a prayer for peace on earth.
Wow. Aren't you glad you came today? Let's stand and do our unity song.
Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. When God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Now there is peace on earth. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me, with me,
Yes. Because you no longer have to look for an external God, because that God is you, living through you and as you. So let's do our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And God is good?
all the time,
And you are good?
all the time.
Have a blessed week.
I missed those videos. I was gonna get one in.